Good evening, everyone. I'm Bree. Hot Chicks with Big Brains has been invited to GoMA this evening, and we have the absolute pleasure of chatting with Ellie Buttrose, who's the curator of the new Cindy Sherman exhibit here. And GoMA has given us a bunch of free passes to the Cindy Sherman Up Late evenings, so please stay tuned for the giveaways for that. There are 2 feminist talks happening, one's tonight and one's next Thursday night. Why have you got feminist panels of incredible speakers speaking to go hand in hand with the Cindy Sherman exhibit? What's the connection there?
So we've partnered with Radio National for a number of years to present talks in conjunction with exhibitions. And while the exhibition focuses on an artist or a thematic that a group of artists are working on, we try and extend that because artists make art about things that are happening in the world.
It's not in a vacuum.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And Cindy Sherman has been a catalyst for many feminist discussions throughout her long career since the 70s. So it was just such an obvious connection, and the topics that her works relate to, because these works are also about, feminists in the 21st century and about aging. I mean, it was such a natural and easy fit for us to do a couple of talks on feminist issues, of which there's so many to speak about right now.
And I know the Up Late sessions have an awesome selection of particularly female, local, singer-songwriters and bands, so that's even more awesome as well.
Yeah, it's been great.
I did sort of want to ask you, as a curator, you're definitely a gatekeeper for what kind of art, and especially at such a huge institution like GoMA, what kind of art the public get to see. Do you feel like it's a responsibility of a curator or someone in your position to make sure that men and women get equal representation?
Absolutely, and it's always part of discussions as a curatorial team. So whether you're planning single artist shows or whether you're planning group shows, it's something we keep in mind, and we do think about quotas because, the history of art has lent definitely towards the male side. So, but I think female artists are making some of the most interesting work, so there's no reason not to be showing women. It's not hard to do.
Yeah, definitely.
So please do come along. See it while you can.
Yay! Thank you so much, Ellie.
Thank you.
Tonight we're talking about the new Feminist Frontier. Perhaps there should be a question mark there. When the internet first arrived on the scene in the 1990s, it was a very blokey environment. Rape threats, death threats, threats to children, misogyny, the online sphere at its worst can be a terribly ugly place. We are getting a lot of tweets actually. But no.
Did you guys like the talk and the event?
Yeah, it was great. It's important to be having these discussions, I think, so we're looking forward to coming back next week.
I think I missed my tour.
When people write about Cindy's work, they seem to fall on one side or the other. There was a critical review in The Guardian that said Cindy Sherman's work seems to invite misogyny. This was the latest release of clothes by Balenciaga she needed to photograph it for a magazine.
And we're standing in front of one of your favourites.
Yes.
It is? Can you tell us a bit about this one in particular?
So the reason why I think this one is definitely one of my top 5 in the show is because Cindy, in the 70s, did a few works where she actually cut out photographs and collaged them together, so she had multiple Cindys within the same picture. And it's not something she does for many, many years until the 2000s. And then with digital technology, she's able to put herself, because all of the images are of her, within the same frame. And so I think it's kind of so great to see Cindy partying with herself.
Sequence upon sequence, so they're quite heavy, and they're also model size. So in some of them she's quite awkwardly posing, and part of that was because she couldn't even fit the outfits on and they're kind of gaping open at the back, but she really played that up. The fashion world loves collaborating with her, and she loves collaborating with them, and she says that, she really thinks that the fashion world is quite absurd and thinks it's disgusting, and yet she loves clothes, she loves dressing up, and she can see the totally fun side of it. And like I think most contemporary women, she's torn, but she talks about wanting to make ugly images for the fashion world, and it's so interesting that the fashion world loves her ugly images.
This has been such an incredible evening. I just want to say a huge, huge thank you to GoMA for inviting me. I cannot recommend enough, if you have the opportunity to take one of the guided tours, do it. And after listening to that talk and like all of these cool people in the room who had all these like awesome questions to ask about the exhibit, and Ellie is like so fantastic. Signing off from GoMA, and also this is my favourite. If I had to pick one, I thought one of my favourites was going to be the Balenciaga ones because they're so amazing, but actually this is my favourite.